Today, ladies, I would like to share with you a card that I am making for our blog hop. And the colors, the picture is down below, but the colors were Garden Green, Daffodil Delight, So Saffron, and Soft Suede. And the first thing I thought of was flowers, and I thought, let's try something else. So I decided I'm going to give a try making the sheltering tree. And for my tree, I'm going to do a mixture of the Garden Green, the Daffodil Delight, and the So Saffron. That is why I have my sponge daubers. So let's get started. All right, to begin with, you need your tree stamp, and mine's on crooked, so I will be stamping it so it is straight. A scrap piece of white, and I just got a piece bigger than I will probably use. And I'm going to use my soft suede ink to ink up my pad, or my stamp. So first thing I'm going to do is, apply ink to my stamp. And if you have a large stamp, it's best to ink it up that way. Okay, now I can see that there are dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it on there. And I'm going to, very carefully, I've got ink down here, so I have to be careful that I don't press too hard. Let me make sure this is straight so my tree is straight. I can trim it up a little. Bet my head is in the way too. All right, so. And I'm going to put this on here. And then you kind of want to press around so that you make sure you get all the pieces. You can also see when the ink transfers to the paper. Not bad. So there's that. Now you need your stamp with the top of the tree on it, and you need your colors that you're going to use. I start with the lightest one first, and I just kind of go around and I dab color in various spots. And it's okay if you have on there more than you need. It's hard to see that the So Saffron's on there. I can tell since my stamp pad is, or my stamp is stained from using it with pink. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to add in some daffodil. And now, and I don't know what this is going to look like. It may not look very good, but we'll find out. I'm going to go in and I'm going to add little taps of green, because by this time of year, if the tree has flowered, the green is starting to come out, and you can see the green a little bit more. So with that in mind, I'm going to move this out of the way, pull this over, get it on here straight. And because I put that ink on a while ago, it could have dried out, so I'm going to huff on it. That re-moistens the ink so that it will transfer to the paper. If it's dry, it won't go anywhere. And I am kind of pressing, make sure I get it all off. Okay, there it is. Now, since the green shows up really well, the other colors don't, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my stamp, and I will probably ink the whole stamp up with the daffodil and stamp it. Okay, I cleaned my stamp, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the daffodil and I'm going to press it down all over. And the reason I chose the daffodil is it's brighter. As you can see the yellow on there that's so saffron, so I wanted something darker. Now, when I stamp this, I don't want to go down in the same spot. I want to offset it a little bit. So I'm just going to move over slightly, and I can see that it's right about there is where that green is. So I'm just going to move over slightly and stamp it down. That will kind of fill in the spaces. And as you can see, there's still some hints of light yellow, but the daffodil came out better, lighter. And I'm thinking that I might want to take and make it just a little bit fuller. So I think I'm going to clean my stamp and ink it up again with the So Saffron. Just so you know, if I had inked it up with the So Saffron first, I wouldn't have had to clean it. But after I stamped that daffodil on there, I felt it needed to be a little fuller. So again, I'm going to stamp it and I'm going to offset it again. There, I have a nice full tree for the summertime. I'm going to cut this down and get my pieces to put my card together. When I cut this down, I just didn't like the looks of it. It seemed bare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the grass or the hills from in there and my garden green, and I'm going to off stamp it because I don't want it that bright. And as I can see, I have to, that's better. And then I'm just going to stamp some green on the bottom. And I have a couple of spots I missed. So what I'll do is I'll just go back and add a little bit in there, so that I get it, and I still miss that spot. Now I've got it. So now I have some grass, and that looks a little better. I tried each of the 3 colors that I had used on the back as a background on my card, and the one that I liked the best was So Saffron. So I'm going to add that to my running out of glue. Let me try another one. Don't want to get it on my card. There we go. Now I've got some. So I'm going to add this to my card, or my layer. And I could do my card this way, or I could do it this way. And I think I'm going to go this way because my thoughts are I'm going to push this over and I'm going to come up with something to go over there. All right, so I think I'm going to put this on this way, and I played around with some ribbon, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and this is a retired ribbon, but we do have a white. I think I'm going to put this ribbon, this white ribbon on there. I tried a white and a saffron retired ribbon. I did not like that. So I'm going to put this ribbon on here. Now you're thinking, how are you going to attach it? And I don't know about you, but there are times when it's like crazy trying to attach this ribbon. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this on a cutting mat, I guess you'd call it. Kind of center it where I want it. Figure out about my ribbon, and I'm going to take and I'm going to cut into the top with an X-Acto knife to make a hole. I have to just check and make sure it's the right size. It may need to be bigger, so I will come back and make it a little bigger. Okay, and then I'm going to feed this through, and you might need to use your X-Acto knife for some help, but get it started in there. Sometimes bone folders work also. You have to get it started. There we go, and I got it. I had to grab it from underneath. So I have it in there. And now what I can take and do is pull this through, pull off some, and I can actually tie a knot. Let's see. Got to turn it sideways. Right over left. And I'm going to go ahead and just cut this off. And and I'm pulling it this way, and I'm going to hold it, pull my ribbon over top, and pull it that way. That way my bow lays in a nice angle, and I can cut it off, or my knot rather, cut it off, and now I can finish up my card. So I'm going to take and attach my card, centering it top to bottom and side to side as much as possible. And now I'm ready to do the inside of my envelope. When I decorate the inside of my envelope, or inside of my card and my envelope, I like them to match my card. And so what I've decided to do is I'm going to take the top of the tree and I'm going to stamp those on there so it kind of looks like flowers. I'll throw in some green too. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, and I'm starting with my So Saffron this time, stamp it with the So Saffron. Pull back my scrap paper because it's going to go off. So I'm stamping this here. I'm inking it up and stamping it again. All right. My envelope, I'm going to go down the side just to mix it up a little bit. And I'm not being particular about it. I'm just inking it up and stamping it. Since I started with the So Saffron and I'm going to be using Daffodil, I don't need to clean my stamp. So I'm going to, again, offset it. That. And now for the bottom of the card. And I'll offset it. Oh, that one wasn't offset, but that's okay. Now it looks blurry, so I've got to fix it. There, that looks better. All right, I'm going to clean my stamp and then I've got to come back and do the green. To add the green in, I'm going to use my sponge dauber. So I only get the green in a couple of spots and I'm just kind of focusing on the top of it. I don't know how much is going to show, so I'll go back and add some more. That one is done. Now I can do my envelope. Again, I'm just kind of guessing. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I will finish putting my card together and be back to show you the finished product. All right, here you go. Here's my completed card. And there's what the inside on the envelope looks like. I often don't put a sentiment on my cards. That way I can use it for whatever I want.